The news spread quietly at first, whispered through defense circles, intelligence briefings, and late-night strategy calls. No loud announcement, no parade, no official unveiling, yet something had undeniably shifted in the Persian Gulf. Satellite analysts began spotting unusual shadows along Iran's southern coastline. Long, angular, unmistakably naval, but nothing that matched any known vessel in Iran's fleet. It was the beginning of a mystery that would ripple far beyond the Middle East. What made this moment so unsettling was not just the presence of a new Iranian warship, but the silence surrounding it. Iran had a long history of showing off its military assets, especially when tensions with the West escalated. But this time, there were no state broadcasts, no close-up shots, no triumphant announcements. Instead, a vessel had appeared without a name, without a number, and without a single identifiable record. A ghost ship, real, massive, and very much operational. U.S. intelligence first caught wind of it through thermal signatures. The shape suggested a hybrid design, part destroyer, part drone carrier, part electronic warfare platform. Israeli analysts went further, suggesting the vessel was built with an unusual hull structure designed to scatter radar waves, a potential attempt at a semi-stealth surface warship. Nothing about this fit Iran's known capabilities. Their navy was traditionally constrained, limited by sanctions, outdated platforms, and aging fleets, and yet, here was something that seemed far more advanced, almost foreign in design. The first clear footage emerged from a commercial satellite passing over the Strait of Hormuz. The outline revealed a long deck, enough to carry multiple drones or fast attack craft, and a topside arrangement that hinted at advanced radar and communication arrays. Analysts worldwide began dissecting the image. Was this Iran's attempt to leapfrog decades of naval development? Was this an imported design, modified locally, or something else, something built quietly, slowly, over years of secrecy? Israel didn't wait to decide. Their defense ministry immediately issued alerts. A mysterious Iranian vessel operating near critical trade routes could mean a dramatic shift in regional naval balance. The U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, stationed in Bahrain, also increased reconnaissance flights. What they were seeing made them even more uneasy. The warship seemed to carry vertical launch systems, something Iran was not known to have operationalized at sea. These VLS cells are the backbone of modern naval warfare, used to launch long-range missiles, anti-ship weapons, and air defense interceptors. If Iran had successfully integrated them into a functioning warship, it meant a new era had begun, one that could extend Iranian reach far beyond its shoreline. What puzzled experts even more was the vessel's speed. Based on wake patterns captured in satellite images, the ship could reach high velocities unusual for its size. This hinted at a modern propulsion system, possibly gas turbines or an advanced hybrid design. Again, something Iran was not expected to possess. Weeks passed and no official statement came from Tehran. Instead, the mysterious ship began sailing patterns that looked suspiciously like capability tests. It moved through strategic choke points, shadowed commercial shipping lanes, and occasionally disappeared from radar altogether. That last detail triggered intense speculation. Was Iran testing a new generation of electronic warfare systems? Or was it simply exploiting known blind spots in regional radar networks? Some analysts suggested the ship might be part of Iran's long-term asymmetric strategy, combining drones, submarines, fast attack craft, and unconventional platforms to overwhelm technologically superior navies. But this new vessel didn't fit that pattern. It wasn't small, expendable, or fast in the typical Iranian asymmetric style. It was large, imposing, and built for endurance. It looked like Iran wasn't just preparing for asymmetric warfare anymore, it was preparing to play in the big leagues. By now, global media had picked up the story. Headlines speculated whether Iran had received outside help. Some pointed to China, others to North Korea, and a few even floated the possibility of covert technology transfers from Russia. But none of the known designs from these nations matched what was seen in the images. The ship's unique structure, its oddly angled deck, its composite-looking upper hull, its drone bays, suggested something indigenous or at least heavily modified. U.S. officials privately expressed concern that this vessel could support long-range drone operations far into the Arabian Sea or the Indian Ocean. With Iran's rapidly expanding drone program, a mobile drone carrier could alter power dynamics dramatically. Not only could Iran project power beyond its coastline, but it could do so with platforms that are inexpensive, effective, and difficult to intercept. Inside Israel, the sense of urgency grew. Military strategists began modeling scenarios in which the mystery warship operated alongside Iranian proxies. A warship capable of controlling drones could coordinate strikes, gather intelligence, and even jam communication networks. If deployed near conflict zones, it could complicate Israeli or American military operations in ways never seen before. Yet, amid rising speculation, Iran finally broke its silence, but only partially. State media briefly mentioned a new class of strategic naval vessel. Without details, without images, without even confirming if it was the same ship being tracked internationally, the announcement felt intentionally vague, as if designed to fuel more questions than answers. What followed was even more intriguing. Iranian social media accounts began sharing blurry nighttime photos of a massive hull being escorted into Bandar Abbas, Iran's primary naval hub. The images were low quality, likely taken from a distance, but the silhouette matched perfectly with what U.S. satellites had observed. The ship was real, enormous, and now officially in port, for reasons no one could determine. Was it undergoing upgrades, final testing, weapon integration, or was Iran preparing for a surprise demonstration? Foreign analysts continued monitoring the vessel. What they discovered next was even more alarming. Mounted on the ship's deck were multiple container-like structures, similar to the modular weapon systems used by several advanced navies. These containers can house cruise missiles, anti-ship weapons, or even loitering munitions. That flexibility made the warship adaptable and unpredictable. In Washington, classified meetings grew frequent. One Pentagon official was quoted anonymously saying, "This changes calculations." For decades, Iran's navy lacked the reach, strength, and sophistication to challenge the U.S. presence in the region. But a modular drone, capable warship with potential missile systems, that was a threat that demanded attention. Israeli experts issued stronger warnings. They believed the vessel was designed to operate far beyond defensive missions. Its configuration suggested offensive potential, possibly long-range precision strike capability. The mystery ship wasn't just a naval platform, it was a strategic signal. But perhaps the most unsettling detail came from electronic intelligence intercepts. Analysts detected unfamiliar signals emanating from the ship. High bandwidth communication bursts consistent with drone control uplinks. This implied the ship could coordinate swarms of drones simultaneously, a capability Iran had been developing aggressively. Imagine a warship that launches dozens of drones at once, each capable of surveillance, electronic jamming, or kamikaze strike missions. No fleet, no base, no carrier group wants to face that kind of attack. Suddenly, Iran had a floating drone fortress. Even more interesting was the ship's potential for stealth. While not invisible, its angled surfaces, dark composite covering, and low-profile tower design seemed optimized to reduce radar detection ranges. It wasn't stealthy like an American destroyer, but it was stealthier than anything Iran had ever built. The geopolitical impact was immediate. Gulf nations, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Bahrain, began adjusting naval patrol routes. European analysts warned that tanker traffic in the region could be vulnerable if tensions escalated. India and Pakistan, both reliant on Gulf shipping, quietly requested intelligence updates. What made the vessel so remarkable wasn't just its existence, but its message. Iran was no longer a passive defensive naval power. It was building assets designed to shape oceans, not merely survive in them. Weeks later, the warship finally sailed again, this time accompanied by smaller escort vessels. Its course was deliberate, moving through international waters under the watchful eyes of American surveillance aircraft. Yet Iran offered no explanation, no clarification, only silence as the vessel glided forward like a shadow across the sea. And as it did, one thing became clear: the balance of naval power in the Middle East had changed. The mystery warship, whatever its true capabilities, represented a turning point. A silent message from Tehran: we are evolving, and the seas will never be the same. Whether the U.S. and Israel can adapt to this shift remains to be seen, but one fact is undeniable: a new player has entered the maritime chessboard, and it arrived silently, without warning, yet impossible to ignore.